This is Karita Parks with Bowie Television at M&T Bank Stadium, where the Baltimore Ravens just dropped a tough one in overtime to the Indianapolis Colts, 22-19. All this week, we knew that the Ravens were going to have to prepare for two quarterbacks. And later in the week, we found out Gardner Minshew would be the one under center. And he did move the ball pretty well for the Colts. However, the Ravens defense was able to give him trouble, particularly Kyle Hamilton, who had 3 sacks in just the first half of this game, 9 tackles overall. He was really just all over the field. And it's been nice to watch this defense step up. Every week it's been someone different. On the other hand, the offense had its struggles today. They started off in the first half with good momentum, but then a Kenyon Drake fumble, it did change the trajectory of that first half, and we really didn't see much from the Ravens offense from that point on. We also knew that with the weather that this team would rely heavily on the run game, which they did, but also they had several design runs for Lamar Jackson today, and he rushed for 2 touchdowns. But he also has some key turnovers, 2 fumbles at his hand. Center Sam Mustipher, he also had a fumble, and as I mentioned, Kenyon Drake as well. So it really just came down to missed opportunities. Justin Tucker had an opportunity to put this game away before it went into overtime, but he missed a 61-yard field goal. There was also a point in overtime where the refs missed a blatant pass interference call on Zay Flowers. Coach Harbaugh said he didn't hear anything or get any explanation from the referees. So that was a missed opportunity. But overall, this team could have put this game away at any other time throughout the game. So at this point, they just have to flush this one, put it away, because they're on to 2 divisional games, starting with Cleveland next Sunday against the Browns, and then they will go to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. This is Karita Parks with Bowie Television. Be sure to follow us for all of your Ravens content.
We're finding a way to finish the game and win it. Tough one for us. There were chances to win the game, and it didn't happen for us. It's 14 games left in this season, and our focus is going to turn very quickly to Cleveland, the division game on the road. But, do everything we can do to go in there and be the best football team that we can be and play our best football. What questions do you have?
John, did you get any explanation on the last drive you guys had? It looked like 45 might have been a little close on Zay Flowers. Did they, on the non-call, it looked like, I think...
Talking about face mask?
No. When Zay, on the last pass...
Pass interference?
Yes. Were you
Can I get an explanation? That's the question?
Yes.
No, I got no explanation.
John, can you talk about the performance of Kyle Hamilton, 3 sacks, technical loss?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Kyle played great. Pretty much all over the field, tackles, defending, put him in that nickel position there, and he had to cover the receivers in the slot, all the different ones, and on defense, obviously, space tackle, I thought he played great.
John, understanding the elements were rough in the first half, how disappointing was the ball security when you guys were on the move and had a chance to go up 2 scores early?
Yeah, I mean, that's football. You have to protect the football. That's it. That's if we're going to be a good ball security, if we're going to be a winning football team, then we got to understand that you can't spot in possessions like that. You got to hold on to the football. Guys know that. They'll be working very hard to get that done. You got to, it's challenging. It's a tough game. I mean, there's a lot of guys flying around out there. There's a lot of hard hitting going on, but that's the number one job of anybody who has the ball in their hands is to protect it.
John, was there on the free kick after the safety? Was Zay told to fair catch that ball?
We were going to fair catch that ball because it was 1:58 before the 2-minute warning. After the kick return team was on the field, they pumped it up over 2 minutes, and we were unable to get it communicated to him. We were trying, but we couldn't get it communicated to him. They were winding it, so that was unfortunate.
John, on that last drive of overtime, I know Justin came up short on 61. Was there any consideration or given another shot at the kick, or were the elements against you? Just wasn't sure about that.
The 60 would have been a 64-yarder, 62-3-yarder. No, that was too far. There's really the footing more than anything else in that.
You were going behind quite a bit of the players. Say again? What would you say, what was wrong with your timing with the receivers today? You were going behind the guys a lot.
I mean, all day hours.
All day?
No, all day.
Oh, some of, just mishaps, part of the game, try not to miss those passes. Great coverage sometimes.
Lamar, how
You
far
went a long stretch, you guys went a long stretch in the middle of the game without getting a lot of first downs on 5 or 6 rounds in a row, and then the end of the game, you had a chance to split the game away, couldn't get first downs. What is your explanation at this point? What do you think broke down in those periods of the game?
We just gotta lock in more, stay focused more, take what the defense gives us, try to move the ball as fast as we could, but, conservative.
Lamar, how challenging was the weather and just being wet in the first half? And how disappointing was just the ball security issues where it really kind of short-circuited a strong start?
Yeah, it messed with us a little bit, I guess, the turnovers, the fumbles, mishaps, the bad passes, but, it's part of football, things happen with the weather. We just gotta do a better job.
Lamar, you had that play late. Zay Flowers is there. A lot of people thought it should have been pass interference. What did you see on that play?
Man, we had plenty of opportunities in the game to finish strong, but it is what it is. They had to fight another day.
Lamar, what happened on the, was there a communication issue with you and Mustapher on the snap that kind of was a little bit low?
Yeah, just miscommunication.
All right. Lamar, you feel like this is kind of one of you guys that slip away? I mean, do you feel like you should have
Absolutely.
closed it out?
Absolutely. Like I said, we had plenty of opportunities to put the game away, especially when our defense did a great job at stopping those guys. Great field position, and we didn't move the ball at all. That ticked me off. It ticked all of us off. We like to finish the drive. The defense did great today. They always do great, but especially today, giving us that opportunity to finish the game, and we did.
You find the end zone twice, your first 2 rushing touchdowns of the year. Was that also attributed to the more designed run plays that we saw from you?
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of designed like an RPO. Yeah, that's part of it.
All right, thanks, Lamar.
Is there something on the film maybe that you guys saw that you're able to attribute to your success as a pass rusher today?
I mean, anytime you get edge blitz like that, it's kind of a team rush. You got Clowney on the edge, he's one of the best pass rushers in this league. He's pretty much giving himself up, so I can free up and get those sacks. And we were joking about it, go back and forth the whole game, but it's him doing his job, allowing me to get TFLs and sacks and stuff like that. So it kind of just goes hand in hand. We were practicing the whole week and executed well.
So were you surprised that they didn't find you the second and third time coming off the edge like that?
Yeah, honestly, that's probably about as unblocked as you can get, and you gotta make your layups. So, like the offense says, they want to take advantage of defensive mistakes. We want to do the same thing on their side. And, they're having some protection issues, I guess, and like I said, it was a team effort, and guys in the back end allowing time for me to get there, covering well because we were pretty much in zero in those pressures and allowing me to get there. So it's a team effort.
How would you think about moving back to the nickel role after the injury to Darius and being back at that spot?
Yeah, coaches do a good job of sprinkling me in there every now and then, kind of keeping it fresh so it doesn't leave my mind, and we can have that flexibility in our defense if I need to go to nickel, or Gino went down today and went back to safety, and Art came in and played nickel for a little bit, but I think it just allows us to be a little flexible and kind of just a little deeper at each position, honestly, because guys can play so many places.
Kyle, what's the mood in that locker room after losing a game like that at home?
I mean, pretty bad. You want to win every single game that we come out here for, and I thought we had a great week of practice, offense and defense, special teams included, and just not the result that we want. But luckily, there's Cleveland next week, and hopefully get a win there. But gotta review the game, see what we did well, improve on what we didn't do well, and move on next week.
Kind of more specifically, how frustrating is it when opposing kicker makes 4 kicks from beyond 50 yards and that ends up being the difference in the game?
Yeah, I mean, there's only 32 kickers in the league, in the world, kicking the NFL, and they're good. And fortunately, we couldn't get a block, and we had a lot of opportunities. I had a lot of good rushes by guys from the inside, but I mean, they got guys on their side who were paid to do things well at the same time. And shout out to that guy. He made a lot of big kicks in the game and never flinched. And But at the end of the day, we shouldn't have even been in that position to lose on a game-winning field goal. So, like I said, there's a bunch of stuff to go back, watch the film, improve on, and this is week 3 now, and hopefully week 13 we won't even be remembering this, but we got to work our way there at the same time.
Kyle, was there maybe an air of confidence after on defense you're called on, you get the safety, and the balls come back to your offense? Was that an area that you guys felt as a defense that you had made the stops necessary?
I mean, nothing's necessary until the clock is at 0. And, you know, everybody was celebrating, but after we looked up at the clock and realized the situation, that he actually had stepped out of bounds instead of the time going off a little bit and 2-minute warning being used then, that they pretty much had 2 timeouts left, and we weren't going to be able to run a lot of clock off. And I think the defense did a really good job of resetting. Because in that moment, I think it was 16-19 at that point, and they still had an opportunity to go win the game. I think the defense did a good job just limiting them to a long field goal, and unfortunately, the game didn't end up how we wanted it to, but we gave ourselves an opportunity.
Does it add to the overall frustration level at all that you guys felt so good coming off of the last one out of Cincinnati? You probably felt like you had a chance to build on that today, and then it gets away.
I mean, it's the funny, not funny part about this league. I mean, every single week you don't get any layups. There's no real bad teams in this league, and every single week you got to practice well, you got to prepare well, and you got to play well. So at the end of the day, we did beat a good team last week and played a great team this week as well, and didn't go our way, but I think it's kind of a lesson that we can learn from, to never get too high, never get too low, and in this league, every single week's a challenge, so we're going to bring it.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
There you go.
Sweet spot, and sometimes, you know, the nature of this game is the ball just does not go through, or you fall short sometimes. But you know, I'm going to choose to, you know, take on a positive mindset and look at the things that we can improve upon. I'm going to look at the things I can improve upon, and I'll just leave it at that.
Just in the overall team aspect, you've seen the good times and tough losses too. Just how you go forward, dealing with tough like this.
I think you just, you know, the way you pick up the pieces and move on is you just take it one step at a time. I think this team has the guts, the fiber to get that done. I think it's just about coming in on you know, Monday through Saturday this upcoming week, taking it one day at a time, one meeting at a time, one practice at a time, one practice rep at a time. I know that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do everything I can to you know, make myself the best football player possible for this team when we play in Cleveland next Sunday.
Just all right. Yeah, it seemed like a lot of players saying just couldn't finish off those drives. You know, you felt like you were getting some of them, just couldn't finish off those drives. What do you think really was the big stumbling block for you guys not to finish off those drives?
Yeah, we weren't playing complimentary football to the defense. The defense played great all day, put us in a lot of opportunities to you know, put the game away. But one thing is for certain, you can't turn the ball over. You know, obviously, you know, I take pride in that myself, especially being a back in this league. You know, you get to touch the ball, it's a privilege. So in any given situation, no matter how far you go, no matter the situation, you gotta, you know, take care of the ball. We had 2 turnovers today. You know, that was a difference in the game. So you know, even Coach Harbaugh even mentioned earlier, the message would have been the same regardless if we would have won or lost. You know, it was all about a learning experience this game, making sure that, you know, 3-0 and 2-1 in the grand scheme of the entire season. As long as we continue to progress and become a team we know we can, you know, we're capable of becoming in the long run, then that's the ultimate goal.
You know, I just think, you know, we just didn't do all the details maybe that we needed to do to be successful. You know, the defense did a good job giving us opportunities, but, you know, unfortunately, I just think we didn't capitalize on those. So, you know.
There were very few shots taken down the field for you guys. Was that the game plan going in, or did that change? It felt like we never saw it.
I mean, you know, maybe Tom Rankin saw something that we didn't see. You know, that's why we're going to go back to the drawing board to see what he did see. You know, so he explained it to us, and, you know, we communicate with him what we saw. You know, it's nobody's fault. So, you know, so just go back and fix it. You know, watch the film, get better. You know, just look unfortunate.
The frustration of having opportunities to put the game away a couple of different times, but then in a punt or a missed extra long field.
It's definitely tough. We wanted to put those guys away, but unfortunately, we didn't. Like I said, the defense gave us opportunities. I think in the future, we definitely need to capitalize on those. I feel like we will.
Rashad, it looked like maybe your hamstring was bothering you a little bit at the end of the game. Did you come out of it feeling okay? Or?
Yeah, I feel fine right now. We just got a little tight on top, and the training staff was doing a good job of taking care of me and pulling me. So, I'm gonna check out tomorrow and see what's up with that.
I mean, you, Gus, various guys get a little banged up throughout this game, even with the injuries that you guys have already had. Are you worried about maybe a mental toll of guys being like just getting bummed out by how many guys are hurt?
Nah, man. Unfortunately, I think the Ravens are built for these situations. You know what I'm saying? So we're prepared for it. Next man up, everybody can make plays. We've all seen everybody make plays. So it kind of is what it is. If that happens, next man up, and we'll still here to play.
Rashad, what do you think was the biggest issue for the offense for not being able to finish off the game?
I just think we just didn't execute. At the end of the day, that's what football comes down to is execution. Just those black and white. It's just as simple as that. So I just think we got to go back to the drawing board. Practice these things and get better at it.
When you do have 4 fumbles on 4 straight drives, how tough is it mentally for the offense to kind of get out of that funk and kind of hit the reset button? You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's tough, but I feel like we got the team, to do it. I just feel like we just didn't do it today. Some days you win some days you lose some, but we're just looking forward to fixing it.
Now, when you got 3 in a row now on the road, to have this one get away like that, does that make it a little tougher?
No, I don't think we really care about playing at home our way. It's football at the end of the day. So we're gonna go on these road games and take care of business how we need to take care of business.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.
It's tough just seeing you coming in locked in. How do you feel? What are your thoughts right after this one?
Just gotta get better. Ain't no excuse for what we put out on the field today. They had too many rush yards, too many big plays that we didn't capitalize on. Just simply not doing our job. I gave up a touchdown. I don't get that touchdown we win. So it starts with us. It starts with me and Rowe in the middle, taking over. There's too many plays that we want back, and that's the thing about the league. You can't have plays that you want to get back. So in order for us to be the team that we want to be, we just got to capitalize when we're supposed to.
Patrick, you talk about the run game. They had a lot of success on the ground. You guys are usually really stout against the run. What was the case today?
Just ain't play our type of ball. Communication was off. Just doing our job was off. That's why me and Ro here stop stuff like that and put that on me. That we didn't communicate good enough, and we'll get it fixed.
You mentioned communication being off. Is there an example of any specifics with that?
Just every run that got out, communication errors, and like I just said, we can't have that. So we'll take the charge back in the middle and we'll get it fixed.
You get that safety, you kind of sense that was going to be the final, play you guys needed to make. When you had that safety into a 3-point lead.
We kind of knew like there's still a chance that they could get the ball back, so we were still prepared. But it was definitely felt like a momentum shift for us. It felt like it was going to be a positive thing, and unfortunately, we gave us some plays after that, and we knew we had to be back on the field, and then we needed to stop, but we didn't get that stop.
Patrick, what did you see on the touchdown pass? It looked like you were in good position. Was it just a perfect pass, or what did you see there?
I think I turned my head around too early. He got extended off of me. Like I said, I can't afford to do that stuff. I think I had good judgment on the ball, and unfortunately didn't make the play. So, like I said, I don't give up that touchdown, we win. So,
I know you don't want to make excuses, but just how tough is it to cover somebody like Moss and coverage one-on-one?
I was in good coverage. I just judged the ball, went for the jump, kind of got extended off of him. And he made a heck of a catch, heck of a throw in. Like I said, that's on me. It'll be fixed, and I guarantee you it won't happen again.
Next man up, obviously that's what has to be the motto, but when the reality is when it's next man up, next man up, next man up, it continually happens right now. How hard is that when you start looking around and seeing all the guys that aren't out there?
Can't have no fall off. No excuse. We practice hard. Everybody practices. It's not like guys are not getting reps. Everybody's getting the reps. We all communicate, and the coaches make it real simple for the game plan. So there's no excuse for us to have any drop off. That's why we got to go out there, communicate, do our job to the best of our ability.
What's kind of the mood in the locker room? You have a big win in Cincinnati, and then let one slip through your fingers here. Just kind of what's the mood, the tenor coming out of this?
We knew we had it. Sitting there, could have been 3-0, and we're not. So there's nothing we can do about it now. Just got to capitalize next time. Don't let just one turned into two.
Patrick, what will be the mentality for the group after just turning the page and thinking of 2 divisional games?
You just can't let this turn into two. We got coming in next week, or who we going to next week and stuff. And it's gonna be the same thing, running the ball. So if we can't stop the run, we can be in trouble. So mindset is just now focusing on them, getting better, and just being able to communicate and make the plays that we need to make.
Thank you.
I was just like stunned, I mean, you talk about not being able to say anything and just like, and he had the biggest smile on his face and, welcomed us and we talked for a few minutes, and that was how I got to meet Brooks Robinson. And since then, here and there, and over time, we've run into each other, and the most gracious man I think I've ever met in my life. Just a prince of a person. So rest in peace, Brooks Robinson. As far as injuries, we get ahead of that. Really don't have any updates on that to add. No announcements, no comments on it. It just isn't really something that we have really too much to say that I can really help you with anyway. And anything that I would say might not be accurate, or it might not be something I want to put out there. So that's where we're at with that. Okay? Good question, John.
So you wouldn't classify as positive getting guys back from injury? There's 4 guys back out there well, Gus did finish the game, but then 3 guys have been out. I mean, that has to be a
That's
positive.
a positive. Absolutely. Yes, of course. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, we're happy with the guys as they get back. We're going to be thrilled. I mean, these guys are really good players. These guys, and they've been working really hard to get back. They want to be back, and as guys come back, we're going to be very excited for them to get back and play. And some of that will happen this week, and then going forward the next few weeks.
John, can you say that Gus is still in the concussion protocol?
I don't have a definition on that. No, I don't. He wouldn't have been able to practice today if he was actually in the concussion protocol. So the fact that we haven't talked about that, I would say no. But just bear with me in the fact that I haven't had that specific conversation with the doctors.
John just signed Kyle Van Noy. I know he was here this summer as well briefly, but what do you like about him?
Yeah, always always have liked Kyle Van Noy as a player. You go back to the Patriot-Ravens games, and him being out there playing the way he plays in that style, in that manner. He's just a ferocious player, and smart player, tough player. I know he's in shape and he's ready to go, and if needed, he'll be out there helping us.
John, when you watch that Cleveland defense on tape from the first 3 games of this year, they've obviously always had a lot of talent, but it seems like they're even more formidable this year. Maybe. I mean, do you see a particular area where they've taken even another step up this year?
I think the defense for Cleveland is playing great. I mean, they're the number 1 ranked defense in the league. They're giving up 164 yards, 10.3 points a game, is it? I mean, that's about as good as you can get. So that's something that we've got to take into account. We've studied them. We know the players. We understand the scheme as best we can for being outside. And as an opponent, we're just going to have to go out there and play our best football and move the ball, score points, and try to win the game.
Are they doing something very different stylistically with Schwartz, or is it? Are they doing similar things?
Well, Coach Schwartz has his system. It's kind of Greg Williams' system. They've been in that system before. Yeah. Greg Williams, obviously, but Jim does it how he does it. He's a decorated veteran defensive coordinator in this league. Does a great job, always has, and he's put his stamp on it for sure.
John, it looks like their run defense, on early downs, not afraid to set those edge rushers up at the wide nine and still be able to fit the run really well. Just what sticks out to you about how they're able to do everything despite maybe more aggressive posture?
Well, that posture is also built to stop the run. It's not just a posture. It's not built to stop the run. They have a way of playing the run, and that's how they do it. And we played that way in Philadelphia with Jim Johnson over the years, and it's a defensive type of style that's been around for quite a long time. And, they're very good at it. And they got, as you said, they got excellent players, and they're playing really hard and well, and we respect them.
John, how difficult has it been to, you've gone against Miles Garrett many, many times, but the challenge of going against him and trying to contain him?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't changed. It's the same challenge, and he's the same player. There's certainly no drop off in his game, and he's a guy that you got to account for every single play.
When you think of Ravens rivalries as of recent, it's been Ravens Bengals, Steelers. People seem to not pay attention to how significant these games against the Browns can be in terms of that rivalry and divisional kind of contest. You just speak to the spirit of these games and what they feel like.
Yeah, these games. I mean, the Browns-Ravens rivalry has been, in my mind, it's just been a very heated, tough, physical, hard-fought rivalry. And just go back and watch the games. I think that's all you got to do. And I know our fans know that. I probably don't agree with your premise that they don't understand that. I believe our fans do know that. And it's a tough stadium to play in. It's very loud. They pipe music in off the sideline right behind you. It makes it even tougher for you. And it's just the way it is. It's a tough place to play, and it's a tough team, and we respect them very much.
John, with all the changes you made at running back, how does that affect you in game, or does it affect you?
Well, I mean, I think offensively you always try to, and Todd does a great job with the coaches of scheming towards guys' strengths, Mike, and trying to do the things that they do well, put them in a position to do things well. And it's all within the structure of the offense. The offense is built to what you do well against what they do well, or don't do well, and their scheme, and that's the way they work.
And the way he comes to practice with such spirit, how have you seen him bounce back since the loss and maybe some of the mistakes, and how has he also maybe made some adjustments?
Yeah, I mean, I think Zay just is he's a very competitive guy. He's always in high spirits. He's always full of energy, and he had a great couple of days. He and I talked yesterday, actually Monday, for quite a while, and just one-on-one. It was a great conversation, and we talked to a lot of guys. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary, but he's ready to roll, and he's going to go try to play his best game on Sunday.